Seth Englehart at the Leaky Mind here. There's a lot of stuff going on in the comics industry right now. It's infecting fans and it's also affecting the entire industry. And shops are closing here. And I'd like to at least address the issue of how professionals are behaving on their social media. And there's a lot of stuff going on that is, a lot of what I have to say is just plain common sense. But apparently some people didn't get the memo. So yeah, I'm going to clarify exactly what I'm expecting as a fan from the creators of the comics I love. You know, there's been creators issuing threats. I don't care whether they mean to carry them out or not, it's unacceptable. Death wishes, which are only a little better. Baseless accusations without proof, and going so far as to say that asking for a proof is harassment. No, it never is. It's due diligence, especially when trying to ruin someone else's career. Or they'll go after YouTubers or bloggers. You get the idea. If you got an accusation, back it up or back off. Full stop. Then, of course, you've got insulting fans, telling certain groups of fans based on politics or whatever bullshit you want, don't buy my book, I don't want you for a customer. Really? No. Look, I don't have the world's most glamorous list of previous occupations. A lot of it was temp work. I'm currently flipping burgers. Even that would be unacceptable behavior for me, especially if I talk about my job on Twitter all the time and then turn around and do that other shit. I mean, seriously, fast food level of professionalism is what I'm expecting. And what I mean by that is, like I said, I flip burgers. There's no social media policy. No one's checking up to see how I handle my Twitter or my Facebook or any of that. But I do know if I talked about where I worked all the time or my job all the time, that I went around insulting customers or coworkers, telling people not to eat here or leveling baseless accusations or expressing death wishes or stuff like that, I'd be fired. And somehow certain comics creators think they're above this basic decency of not doing any of that crap. I really don't think I'm asking too much. I'm asking what's already expected of me. And I'm at the bottom tier of the job market. Think about that. Just stop and think about that. Now, there are creators who have been doing an excellent job on Twitter. I can only think of a few off the top of my head, but I would like to give shout outs to Peter Samedi, Ethan Van Scriver, Patrick Zerker, John Malin, Eric Larson, just to name the first few that fall off the top of my head here. All right, they've been handling things well. Basically, and there are others too. You know, this is only a segment of creators, but still, it's becoming loud, noisy, and it's gotten to a point where the big two have had to crack down, and even then, it's still a problem. So, there are basically three types of social media accounts, no matter what site you're on: personal, professional, corporate. Corporate accounts are easy to identify. So I'm not going to go into a lot about them. Basically, if the company creates an account for you or instructs you to create it and you use it for company business, like you're the social media person for such and such a, okay, that's a corporate account. Real difference comes into the other two accounts. personal account, which is, well, a lot of content creators seem to think they have, but don't really. It's what a lot of people have. Okay, where they post wherever they want as long as they're within the terms of service for that social media site. They're okay. You know, you should have more common courtesy. Not everybody does, but you get the idea. You can post pretty much anything. Professional account. This is what a lot of creators actually have. And if you're a freelance graphic designer, you probably already know what I'm talking about. A lot of other freelancers and other types of professionals already know where I'm going with this. This is an account created by that individual representing themselves, but they've tied it to their work. They use it to interact with customers, fans, potential employers or business connections. They use it to promote their work. You get the idea. Once you do that, your account's no longer personal. It's professional from there on out, and you damn well better behave like it. Because everything you're doing is getting associated with your brand, your name, the company you work for, or companies you work with, and your co-creators, your collaborators. Doesn't matter whether you're working directly for a company or if you're a freelancer. It's all the same deal. All right. Now, this doesn't mean with a professional account you can't talk about narcotics things. You could even talk about politics. Try to keep it to the positive. If you have complaints, don't go crazy. All right? Don't go labeling half the country as villains. Don't go with death threats or death wishes. This is pretty common sense shit. All right? Accusations, back it up or back off. All right? If there's a problem, you shouldn't remain silent, but you should be going through proper channels. If those fail, I get you have to turn to social media, but you better back up your claims. Otherwise, you just seem petty, arrogant, or worse yet, it's a move to discredit people you don't like or to boost your own reputation, and it's going to backfire. Don't insult your fans. Seriously. There's an old saying, excuse me, don't shit where you eat. Excuse me. When you insult your customers, you don't have them, and then you don't have a job. Seems pretty obvious. Some people didn't get the memo. What the hell? Don't issue death threats. Ever. And that applies not only to professional accounts, but to personal ones. No one cares. No one gives a shit that you aren't going to carry it out. They just care that you made it. That stuff's unacceptable. That, in any other profession, that gets people fired. How the hell some people still have their jobs in the comics industry, I'll never know. Don't wish harm or ill will on people. Oh, and this is less a behavior item, but a good piece of advice. Don't use a freaking block list. Okay? I mean, seriously, this stuff's getting ridiculous. I mean, Peter Simay of Alternative Comics is getting submissions from creators who have both him and Alternative Comics blocked on Twitter. Guess who's not getting published through him? And why do they have him blocked? Oh, they never interacted with him or personally blocked him. No, they signed up for a list. Somebody compiled by using a bot to trace all of particular YouTubers' followers on Twitter and block them, and then, oh, hey. You see, that one of the YouTubers in question, Diversity in Comics, had a pleasant interaction with Alternative Comics. Somebody had never heard of him before, and all that, didn't know anything controversial about him. He should have had to go look that up. He just tends to follow people that give him a very nice interaction. So, hey, well, now he's on a block list. Yeah, you're going to end up coding people that have nothing to do with the reason why you want to block other people getting on that list. And you know what that does? Eventually, some of those people will find out they've been blocked without interacting with you, and any admiration they had is gone. If you don't want to interact with people, private accounts are a good idea. If you want to interact with people, you're going to have to block on a selective basis. Take Sean Astin, for example. I loved him as Samwise Gamgee. Used to want his autograph and all that. Not anymore. I see him on a convention, I'm going to ignore him. Or flip him the bird. I don't care which. I finally get my chance to go to a convention. Yeah, the packages that have meet and greets and signings, no longer a selling point. Because I don't want to ever meet the guy anymore. He's showing he can't think for himself. He's using somebody else's list to block people he's never even talked to. Screw that. And I know he's not in the comics business, but our comics creators are doing the same thing. Also, you can't expect the fans to have the level of constructive critique as professional critics or your editors. They don't always have the terminology. So you're going to get a LOL, this sucks, and that's it. Deal with it like an adult. Ignore it. Maybe. Or ask if they can elaborate why. Who knows? You might get something you can work with out of that. But your work is open to criticism the moment you put it out into public. And the moment you interact with the public, you're opening yourself up to hearing that criticism, regardless of the level. You're going to have to learn how to handle it. Full disclosure, I am working on my own comic, my first comic. Right now my account adheres to the stuff I've been talking about, for the most part. I think it adheres to it perfectly, actually. But I'm going to be improving how I handle my social media when I'm ready to start promoting my book. I'm going to be cleaning that up further than it currently is. Now, you've got some different options. You can have a personal account and a professional account. You could post under pseudonym. You could just not talk about your work. Or, that's pretty much it. But yeah, here's a double-edged sword, okay? For the longest time, comics creators weren't getting their due credit. Alright, they weren't allowed to put their names on the work. That kind of thing. They had to use house names. And creators fought hard to get their due credit. Well, you take the good with the bad, and the bad that comes with that is now you are the face of that work. When nobody knew your name, that was a whole other matter. I hear excuses from some creators. I'm not PR. Yes, you are. In all the temp jobs I had, it didn't matter whether it was factory, janitorial, call centers dealing with the public, call centers dealing with internally in the company, processing with a computer screen. Doesn't matter. One thing was always drilled into my head. PR is everybody's job, and your name is on the book, that's even more so. Okay, I don't care if you're an editor, writer, an artist. Doesn't matter. Whether you do covers or you just do lettering or what. You are PR. I mean, seriously, what do you think signings at comic shops are? What do you think doing conventions are? Or interacting with the fans on your account, posting works in progress, talking about past pitches, promoting your work. That's all public relations, aka PR. So yeah, you are PR. You don't like it, you're in the wrong business. Also, I hear, oh, it's my personal account. Well, the stuff I went over, yeah, you need to check that list. If you're promoting your work on your account, if you're talking about your work, the companies you've worked for and with as comics professional, yeah, it's a professional account. I mean, people are paying money again to conventions just to ask for autographs, and sometimes are paying for those. You're a minor celebrity. You may not be paid like a celebrity, but you are, okay? So you are PR, and those aren't personal accounts when you're tying them to your work like that, or using them to interact with the fans. They're professional accounts, you better behave like it. And no one cares if you post about your pets or your hobbies. Just use a little common sense. How hard is that? It's just stupid right now. PR is everybody's job, especially yours. And if you're promoting your work, using it to do your account to do interviews, talk about fan interactions, interact with the fans, post about your convention experiences, or any of that stuff. If you're tying to your work like that, it's not a personal account anymore. It's a professional account, and the one who made it that way was you. You've got no one else to blame. So it's time for y'all to act like goddamn adults. The fans aren't held to the same standard because they're not the ones trying to sell something. You are. And it's your name and image, your brand that goes on it. I don't care whether you're a freelancer or working for a company. Your social media is tied to your name, your brand, your image, which then reflects on the companies you work with or for, and the people you work with. Now, that's cold hard reality. So yeah, it's gotten so bad. DC put a social media policy in place. Disney's had one for years. They've kind of ignored Marvel because they mostly bought for a property firm, at least intellectual property firm. At least that's what it seems like. But things got so loud. There's been rumor that Marvel's been cracking down. The fact that some of the worst offenders have completely deleted their pages, their social media feeds. I think the noise got loud enough to reach the mouse's ears. At least I hope so. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Not much else I can say, but I would like to see some good work in the future. And I'm going to keep reading the things I like. Things I'm not going to pick up on, but I'm going to do what fans always do. I'm going to complain about the stuff I like and praise the stuff I do. That's what we do. Anyway, have a good one.